Hey guys, how you doing? It's good to come and sit with you guys and to talk with you and to share with you what's on my mind tonight. And I've always had a softness in my heart for hurting people, for people that have come from dysfunctional homes and have had really abusive moms and dads. And I've always had a soft spot for people that have addiction problems. And I've always wanted to reach out and do whatever I can to support them and help them. Having come from a background like that myself with a very dysfunctional family, and also celebrating last month 27 years of sobriety. I first started to drink, I was probably 8 years old. And I can remember how it made me feel, like I was the king of the castle. I was outstanding in my field, just a figure of speech. And it helped me get through things. It helped to numb the pain. It helped me to learn how to talk to people because I was my self-esteem wasn't that good. So the only way I could talk to girls or whatever is if I, had a few beers. And then I got the courage up to do that. And a lot of times it just numbed the pain so I wouldn't have to deal with it. And as I got older, I continued to do that. I stopped for a while, had a family, and then some circumstances in my life happened and I just started drinking again. And I was probably in my early 20s, and then probably did that off and on until I was 34, 35. And it was so bad that, there were times where I'd be driving my vehicle and I'd pass out at the wheel. Some days the pain was so bad that I just wanted to give up. There's probably a lot of people out there that feel that way right now, that they feel that there's no way out, that they're never going to be able to beat this demon that is just inside them and it's got control of them, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or whatever, or you just are sick and tired of being sick and tired. When I first quit drinking back in 1993, I checked myself into the detox center. And I can remember talking to the nurse, and we were talking about different things, and I didn't know anything else. Booze was my best friend. I didn't know how I was going to get through a minute, let alone a day. And she would just laugh, and I'd say to her, "Well, what are you laughing about?" She'd say, "You know what? You're not the only person that said that." And I just said, I don't know how to cope with anything. I've been doing it since, I was 8 years old. And, I worked the program for a month and I learned a lot. I learned that we need to speak and talk, not stuff it inside. We got to learn to deal with our feelings. And I used to ask the counselor all the time what was normal, because I didn't know if the way I was feeling was normal. I didn't know what normal was. I was either full of guilt because I was feeling that way. I didn't know if that feeling was normal, if everybody felt that way, or if I just needed to, just get over it. So as I went through my treatment and learned more about myself and more about the disease and more about the behavior that goes along with being an alcoholic, I started to learn how to think healthier. I started to learn how to make healthier decisions. And I think the biggest thing for me is I had to learn to come up with some strategies, some game plan when I found that I had the urge to drink. A relapse prevention program, that's what I was looking for. So I put things into place. I mean, when you go into the treatment centers, they'll teach you that about a relapse prevention program, what we need to do when we feel like we're going to relapse. And I had to learn to just reach out and call somebody when I knew I was going to drink. I mean, I can remember times going into the bar and ordering beer and then getting up and running for one time I ran 5 miles and then I got on the phone and called somebody. Another time I'd go in and out of the liquor stores, pick the bottle up, and then I'd put it down. I'd drive to the next place, and it was just a vicious circle. And then I gave in and I started drinking again. And I can remember the last time I drank. I was just sitting there and my roommate came home and I started talking to him and he took me. I went upstairs for a while and the phone rang. It was another buddy. And then all I could do was remember that, and I guess I'll back up a bit. I just want to say for you people out there that are walking alongside somebody who has an addiction problem and you don't have one, or you do have one and you're got lots of years of recovery or whatever and you're doing fine, don't ever give up on them. Don't think that everything you say is just going in one ear and out the other. Because there's going to come a time that they're going to remember one word that you said, and that light's going to come on, and it's going to change their life forever. I know that happened to me because I had a doctor who cared about me. And I can remember that day up in my room, and I was feeling really crappy, and I just didn't want to live anymore. And I could remember him saying something to me, and the light came on. And then the phone rang, of course, and I talked to my buddy for a while. Then I went downstairs, and I just told my buddy, look, take me to detox. So he took me to detox. And I can remember I was probably there a day or 2 days. And I can remember being in the bathroom after I got up and I just looked at the mirror and I just asked myself a simple question. And that was, Randy, do you want to live or do you want to die? And it was my son's 10th birthday, my oldest son's 10th birthday. And I felt so bad because I was going to miss his birthday. And I can remember just saying to myself, you know what, I want to live. I'm going to do whatever it takes to beat this thing. And I just walked out of the detox center, and I can remember the counselor running after me, saying to me, what are you doing? I said, I'm leaving. He said, why, Randy? What are you leaving for? You're not going to make it. I said, yeah, I'm going to make it. He said, well, statistics say. I said, well, you know what? You can stick those statistics, and I won't repeat what I said. Forgive me. And that was it. I walked out. And, you know, on the 23rd of August, that was 27 years that I hadn't had a drink. Has it been easy? No, it hasn't been easy. There are times when I have struggled, but it was nowhere near what it was like when I drank. Have there been times where I felt like drinking? Yeah. Some days, even now to this day, there are days where I just want to get out of the world for a few hours and not have no cares or concerns and just get, you know. But I know that if I do that, then it might be a week, it might be a month, it might be 6 months, but I know that that'll be it for me. I mean, I was lucky, and thank God that I quit when I did, because I can remember the doctor telling me that, you know what, if you don't quit drinking, Randy, your liver's going to fail. And, you know, for a while that wasn't enough. And And then at that day, on the 23rd of August, 1994, I made up my mind that I was going to quit and that I was going to make changes in my life. Even though on that video, the last video, I said to you, I was willing to do whatever I could to make some changes. I never told you how many years that it took to make some changes, and I'm still making changes. I'm still changing. I am not perfect, and I know that. And I know that I'm going to be on a journey for the rest of my life, like I told you before. But that's a good thing. There's nothing bad about learning about yourself and about others and coming in touch with your feelings and dealing with them. Because every alcoholic or every drug addict I've ever talked to, one of the reasons why they are in the situation they are is because they got a heart. They care. And why is it do they fall into that? It's because they care too much. And they don't know how to deal with it all. So instead of talking about it, they stuff it. And they beat themselves up. And I had a friend one time, I asked him, I said, Jim, is this the way you want your life to be? He says, no, Randy, that's all I knew. That's all I know how to do. And I said to him, Jim, if I can quit, you can quit. But unfortunately, it got the best of him and he passed away. And it breaks my heart because he was a good guy. Very smart in school. He was an honor student. But he just got tied up with the wrong people, the wrong crowd. See, where I grew up, drinking was very prevalent and everybody did it. And, a lot of these people that I grew up, a lot of them are still living in the same town. Some of them are dead. But the first step in the journey for me and for everybody really is to look themselves. Go to a mirror. Stand in front of a mirror and say, hi, my name's whatever. I'm a junkie or I'm an alcoholic or whatever. Or I'm a codependent or I got control issues or whatever it is. Like I said in the last video, I had to do that and I still have to do that in my life. And I've realized that there's a person bigger than me that could be the only one that could help us get through that. And I learned that person was God. And without him, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have been able to get through some of the stuff I've had to go through in my life. Oh yeah, people can say what they want. That's fine. But I know without a shadow of a doubt that that's why I'm here and I'm able to talk to you tonight. Because many times I shouldn't have lived. Drinking and driving, passing out at the wheel, drinking too much, alcohol poisoning, all kinds of stuff, The liquor, the amount of liquor I drank sometimes would have killed the average person, but here I'm still here. So my hope and my prayer is for you tonight, if you're watching this video or if you know somebody who has a problem, pray for them, encourage them, don't give up on them, love them. That's the key, love them unconditionally. And make sure you phone them and tell them that they're important to you. Because something you said might save their life one day on the journey that they're going to. I know it saved my life. It gave me a reason to keep going. It gave me some hope. And so, when I see these young people on the streets and they're just whacked right out on this crack cocaine and all that stuff, it makes me sad. That's somebody's son, that's somebody's daughter. And I just want to reach out and just put a bubble over them and do whatever I can to protect them, but I can't. And somewhere there's a parent out there that's crying themselves to sleep because they don't know where their son or their daughter is. They're so whacked out on whatever it is. And it's just hard. And I don't know if any of you that are in that situation, you're watching this video tonight, man, I feel for you. It breaks my heart. And I thank God every day that I haven't had to deal with that in my life. Because it just saddens me that somebody's mother is crying herself to sleep every night because she doesn't know where her daughter or son is, or some father. So I'm just here to tell you that if I can do it, you can do it. Nobody promised that life was going to be easy for us. Nobody said that we could pick our parents. Nobody said that we could pick our brothers or our sisters. It's what we were given. And somehow we got to be able to work around that and come to the place where we don't play the victim. And that we realize that we've got a problem. Whatever that problem is. It doesn't have to be alcoholism. It doesn't have to be drugs. It could be anything. And just realize that we have the power to change things. We have the power to change the way we think, the way we feel, the way we speak, the way we respond to people. Yeah, have I responded wrong in my life? Yeah, I've done a lot of stupid things in my life and said a lot of stupid things. And most of the time, if I need to make amends, I make amends. And I tell them, whoever it is, I'm sorry. But it's never too late to make changes in your life. Doesn't matter whether you're 12 or 20 or 50 or 70. We can all make changes. We can all make a difference in our life and other people's lives. So I'm just here to say to you that I'm living proof of that. That you too can do it if you put your mind to it. What I had to do is I just had to totally surrender everything. My thoughts, my finances, my job, my family, everything. I had to just surrender it and say, okay, step one, I made a mess of my life and I need to change. And just give all our cares and concerns and worries to the good Lord upstairs. And He'll take care of us. Yeah, the road ain't going to be easy. It's going to be a hard road. And it takes a lot of work and determination and strength to be able to deal with some of the things that we have to deal with in our lives. Especially the alcoholism or the drugs or whatever it is. But we can't give up. Yeah, there are times where I wonder if I've really changed. Yeah, I have. Sometimes I'm hard on myself. I'm my worst critic. But I know that I just got to keep my eyes on the prize. I mean, there has to be somebody bigger than us. And that person is God. And that's my hope. Because the government's going to let you down. Your family's going to let you down. Your brother, your sister, your friends are going to let you down. So what else is there? God. So just hang in there, people. You can do it. And I'm going to do whatever I can to come on here each day and encourage you, lift you up. And when I'm having a hard time, I'll tell you I'm having a hard time. Because I want to be as transparent as possible. Because that's what it's all about. You want victory in your life, you have to be transparent. You have to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with your family. You got to be honest with God. That's the only way there's going to be any changes in your life. Because we can't do what we did before because it doesn't work. You know, we can't figure we're going to fool everybody because we can't fool God. He knows our heart. So he knows your heart, and he knows that heart wants to quit drinking or doing drugs. So just talk to him. Just like I'm talking to you. I mean, I didn't have any fancy words. I just said help. H-E-L-P. I just said help, Lord, help me, because if I don't get some help, I'm going to die. I'm going to end up drinking myself to death or doing, and I didn't want to do that because I had a lot to live for. I had my kids. I had my friends, my nieces, my nephews. So it's worth fighting for. And some days when you feel like you're going to give up, pick up the phone, call somebody and say, hey, I'm having a hard time today. Doesn't matter whether you got a drinking problem or an alcohol. If you're having a bad day, just pick up a phone and call one of your friends. Call somebody from church and say, hey, I'm having a hard time. I need you to pray for me. Or I just need somebody to talk to. And they'll gladly talk to you. When I get more established in what I'm doing here, I'm hoping to start a podcast or whatever where people can phone in and we can talk, have a good laugh, or whatever it is that we need to do to get through this together. So I'm just trying things out. This is all new for me. Technology is new. I'm not the smartest whip on the block, but I'm learning. And I look forward to many more days where we can get together and we can encourage one another. So keep looking up. Keep going. Keep going. You can do it. God bless you.